Hey mamas, it's Lee. I wanted to come in today. I had intentions of coming in earlier and such is life. And so here we are in the car, and hopefully you can hear my air conditioning. I cannot turn it down because it just will not, I'll roast. So anyways, wanted to talk to you about the Cranky Mom Fix last week. We finished up week 1, and that was chapters 1 and 2, and I want to hear from you because I don't know about you, but God was doing some work in my heart regarding this. And we've been sharing things over the week. What I kind of wanted to wrap up with today, well, first of all, to let you know that we are going to select a winner for a giveaway for your own copy of the Cranky Mom Fix. And that will be tonight after 11:59 p.m. So we'll announce the giveaway winner tomorrow. So make sure to go ahead to that post, and I'll try to link it below here. And enter. So all you have to do is enter a GIF or take a picture of your cranky mom face, and that will enter you for a copy to win a copy of the Cranky Mom Fix. Something else that I'm going to do is I'm going to get the posts for last week in one spot. I'll make an announcement in the group once I figure that out. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it as units or if I'm just going to do it in a post. So I will let you know, but I would like to be able to have you have them in one spot in the group. If you are looking to go to my site, I will give you the information to that as well, because I do have a page set up with a password that you can access just the questions that we were going through last week in the group, but you can have it all in one spot on my site. So I'll try to include both of those for you. So this is what I was struggling with, and I'm going to talk about triggers today. I'm hoping that you went through the triggers sheet and that you started to pay attention to what your triggers would be. I'm looking at my book, I'm not ignoring you. So I should have had my page ready for you here, but we did a poll in the group. What was your biggest trigger? And it was, for most people, it was child behavior. For second runner-up, that was environmental. And then there was a few other ones. And I'm going to be honest with you, I was really frustrated with myself regarding this topic of triggers, because I do know my child behavior triggers. And I would have told you a different story a couple years ago, but I have spent a lot of time working through those and praying through those and asking God to help me with those, and it's still a work in progress. But the thing that really got me is that I realized my biggest area of triggers now, after a couple years, is environmental. And so I have lots of thoughts on that. But for instance, she says in the book, examples of environmental would be feeling too busy, distracted, or overwhelmed, surrounded by too much noise or activity, feeling rushed or running late, surrounded by mess or disorganization, crummy weather, sudden change in routine, interruptions like a flat tire, vomiting, a child vomiting, or other, and then other things. So the reason I was very disappointed or frustrated with my own convictions in this is because that has been an area that God is continuously working in me, is contentment in all circumstances, okay? And so what that looks like is, in my life, I feel like He has given me many opportunities to grow in being content in all circumstances. So content in all circumstances. So I've shared with you in this group before some of the hard things that we've walked through and that I've been challenged in. And, there's many more, just like a lot of people, there's many more that I haven't shared yet. But the problem with that is that I have a feeling I've seen His glory in that. I've seen Him show up, His faithfulness, to help me learn to be more content in my circumstances. And then I read the book, The Cranky Mom Fix, and I look at, man, I'm talking about God helping me with big, hard circumstances in life. Things that, people would agree would be big, hard circumstances. And here I am as a mom, and I am not being content in circumstances like noise. Why is it that noise drives me crazy. And I don't mean noise like as in the kids buzzing around because I have 5 kids. Like, that's not the kind of noise that's a trigger for me. What's a trigger for me are the little sounds like tapping and clicking and whatever, and feeling rushed or running late. Mess and disorganization. Look, I do not have a wonderfully clean home. I am not a super organized, person, generally speaking, but there are some things that have to be in place. Otherwise, I feel like everything else is magnified. And so just being really honest with you, we moved from Kentucky to Wisconsin, and I really battled last winter with weather. Like, how can weather take out my whole world? Like, this just seems so silly. And so I'm looking at these things as I'm processing through the book, and it's like I said, it's convicting. It's good to know these things. It's something that I was not prepared for. I guess I would have thought that even maybe child behavior, but probably more emotional would have been a bigger trigger. But no, for me, what it ends up being is environmental. So I am again learning to be, and need to learn to be, content in all circumstances, including these little big triggers to me that are environmental. So that's where I'm at. I am praying that God is showing you things through this. This has been such a blessing this last week. This week we are on chapters 3 and 4, and we'll be sharing posts and sharing things as well as we go. But I really would love to hear from you below. I would love to hear one of two things: either where you're at, because it's okay if you're not caught up, and if you are caught up, I would love to hear how God is speaking to you. What is one thing that He has shown you so far? Because I don't doubt that He has shown you at least one thing, or opened your eyes to at least one thing. Like I said, anger and being a cranky mom is something that I've been working on for years. And I go back to His Word, and I go back to prayer, and I look at the things in this book that Becky is sharing, and I'm like, wow, I can relate to that. This is where I am. And here I find myself, a couple years later, understanding the child behavior triggers and being able to walk through them and submit them to Him, like she's going to talk about more in the book. And yet here I am with environmental. So I just wanted to share that with you. And if you would pray for me in that, I would greatly appreciate it. I absolutely will be praying for you as well. But I will be back in, like I said, with more posts. And tomorrow is the announcement of the giveaway winner. We have more fun things coming up. I'm going to come back and announce this in just a second.